Yes, good evening. I was outside and buy a little bit candy. Let's continue reading the Intel CPU. No, the Intel PDF. Yes, sir. I'm tired and I have a very hot. I think we can just continue. Yes. I'll need a minute. I need my cell phone. Yes, let's try finish this Sunday evening. Is evening news in the Danish television in 45 minutes. Is 8:12. So 9 p.m. I like to watch this evening news.
Revealed that, under Untitled, Intel's revenue increased by 55.8%, US $34.2 to $53.3 billion, while its net income increased by 46.7%, US $7.5 billion to $11 billion, 207, proving that his illegal business practices were more profitable than the fines levied against the company as punishment for employing them. On the 2nd of May, 2013, Executive Vice President and coup Brian Kutnick was selected as Intel's 6th CEO, 208, a selection that became effective on May 16, 2013, at the company's annual meeting. Reportedly, the board concluded that an insider could proceed with the role and exert an impact more quickly, without the need to learn Intel's processes, and Kutnick was selected on such a basis. 209. Intel's software head Renee James was selected as president of the company, a role that is second to the CEO position. 210. As of May 2013, Intel's board of directors consists of Andy Bryant, John Donahoe, Frank Yeary, Ambassador Charlene Barshevsky, Susan Decker, Reed Hunt, Paul O'Tellenai, James Plummer, David Potruck, and David Yoffie, and creative director Will Iam. The board was described by former Financial Times journalist Tom Formsky as an exemplary example of corporate governance of the highest order and received a rating of 10 from Governance Metrics International, a form of recognition that has only been awarded to 21 other corporate boards worldwide. 211. On the 21st of June, 2018, Intel announced the resignation of Brian Kutnick as CEO, with the exposure of a relationship he had with an employee. Bob Swan was named interim CEO, as the board began a search for a permanent CEO. On the 31st of January, 2019, Swan transitioned from his role as CFO and interim CEO and was named by the board as These Event CEO to lead the company. 212. On the 13th of January, 2021, Intel announced that Swan would be replaced as CEO by Pat Gelsinger, effective February 15. Gelsinger is a former Intel Chief Technology Officer who had previously been head of VMware. 213. Board of Directors. As of the 25th of March, 2021, Sad Smiley. 214, Omar Ishraq, Chairman and former CEO of Medtronic. Pat Gelsinger, CEO of Intel. 215. James Goace, Managing Director of Sequoia Capital. Alyssa Henry, Square, Inc. Executive. Raisa Lavizomori, former President and CEO of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Zhu Jiaqing Liu, professor at the UC Berkeley College of Engineering. Gregory Smith, CFO of Boeing. Dion Weiler, former president and CEO of HP Incorporated. Andrew Wilson, CEO of Electronic Arts. Frank Yeary, managing member of Darwin Capital. Employment. Intel has a mandatory retirement policy for its CEOs when they reach age 65. Andy Grove retired at 62, while both Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore retired at 58. Grove retired as chairman and as a member of the board of directors in 2005 at age 68. Intel microprocessor facility in Costa Rica was responsible in 2006 for 20% of Costa Rican exports and 4.9% of the country's GDP. 216. Intel's headquarters are located in Santa Clara, California, and the company has operations around the world. Its largest workforce concentration anywhere is in Washington County, Oregon. 217, in the Portland metropolitan area Silicon Forest, with 18,600 employees at several facilities. 218, outside the United States, the company has facilities in China, Costa Rica, Malaysia, Israel, Ireland, India, Russia, Argentina and Vietnam, in 63 countries and regions internationally. In March 2022, because of international sanctions during the Russo-Ukrainian War, Intel stopped supplying Russian market. 219, in the U.S. Intel employs significant numbers of people in California, Colorado, Massachusetts, Arizona, New Mexico, Oregon, Texas, Washington and Utah. In Oregon, Intel is the state's largest private employer. 218, 220. The company is largest industrial employer in New Mexico, while in Arizona the company has 12,000 employees as of January 2020. 221. Intel invests heavily in research in China, and about 100 researchers or 10% of the total number of researchers from Intel are located in Beijing. 222. In 2011, the Israeli government offered Intel $290 million to expand in the country. As a condition, Intel would employ 1,500 more workers in Kiryat Gat and between 600 and 1,000 workers in the north. 223. In January 2014, it was reported that Intel would cut about 5,000 jobs from its workforce of 107,000. The announcement was made a day after it reported earnings that missed analyst targets. 224. In March 2014, it was reported that Intel would embark upon a $6 billion plan to expand its activities in Israel. The plan calls for continued investment in existing and new Intel plants until 2030. As of 2014, Intel employs 10,000 workers at 4 development centers and 2 production plants in Israel. 225. Due to declining PC sales, in 2016 Intel cut 12,000 jobs. 226. In 2021, Intel reversed course under new CEO Pat Gelsinger and started hiring thousands of engineers. 227. Diversity. Intel has a diversity initiative, including employee diversity groups as well as supplier diversity programs. 228. Like many companies with employee diversity groups, they include groups based on race and nationality as well as sexual identity and religion. In 1994, Intel sanctioned one of the earliest corporate gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender employee groups, 229, and supports a Muslim employees group, 230, a Jewish employees group, 231, and a Bible-based Christian group. 232. 233. Intel has received a 100% rating on numerous corporate equality indices released by the Human Rights Campaign, including the first one released in 2002. In addition, the company is frequently named one of the 100 best companies for working mothers by Working Mother magazine. In January 2015, Intel announced the investment of $300 million over the next 5 years to enhance gender and racial diversity in their own company as well as the technology industry as a whole. 234, 235, 236, 237, 238. In February 2016, Intel released its Global Diversity and Inclusion 2015 Annual Report. 239. The male-female mix of US employees was reported as 75.2% men and 24.8% women. For US employees in technical roles, the mix was reported as 79.8% male and 20.1% female. 239. NPR reports that Intel is facing a retention problem, particularly for African Americans, not just a pipeline problem. 240. Economic impact in Oregon in 2009. In 2011, ECO Northwest conducted an economic impact analysis of Intel's economic contribution to the state of Oregon. The report found that in 2009 the total economic impacts attributed to Intel's operations, capital spending, contributions and taxes amounted to almost $14.6 billion in activity, including $4.3 billion in personal income and 59,990 jobs. 241. Through multiplier effects, every 10 Intel jobs supported, on average, was found to create 31 jobs in other sectors of the economy. 242. Intel Israel. Intel has been operating in the state of Israel since Duf Furman founded the Israeli branch of the company in 1974 in a small office in Haifa. Intel Israel currently has development centers in Haifa, Jerusalem and Petah Tikva, and has a manufacturing plant in the Kiryat Gat Industrial Park that develops and manufactures microprocessors and communications products. Intel employed about 10,000 employees in Israel in 2013. Maxime Fesberg has been the CEO of Intel Israel since 2007 and the Vice President of Intel Global. In December 2016, Fesberg announced her resignation. Her position of Chief Executive Officer, CEO, has been filled by Yaniv Gertie since January 2017. Acquisitions and investments, 2010 present. In 2010, Intel purchased McAfee, a manufacturer of computer security technology, for $7.68 billion. 243. As a condition for regulatory approval of the transaction, Intel agreed to provide rival security firms with all necessary information that would allow their products to use Intel's chips and personal computers. 244. After the acquisition, Intel had about 90,000 employees, including about 12,000 software engineers. 245. In September 2016, Intel sold a majority stake in its computer security unit to TPG Capital, reversing the 5-year-old McAfee acquisition. 246. In August 2010, Intel and Infineon Technologies announced that Intel would acquire Infineon's wireless solutions business. 247. Intel planned to use Infineon's technology in laptops, smart.
Yes, I need to get a little bit more candy. It's 8:30. I need more candy, and I'd like to record a short Danish video. So let's do that. And I need to put the video public. Just need to make a Danish video about this candy in just a small one, half a minute, 2 minutes. Så den skål slik tom. Jeg optager på det her videokamera også her. Jeg har sagt på engelsk, jeg skal lige ud og have en skål slik med. Jeg er træt og har det varmt. Det er blevet mørkt også. Lad os lige lukke de her presenninger på. Der er TV-avisen om en halv time. Jeg gerne vil se. Der er varslet skybrud. Der er varslet skybrud over hele landet. Indtil i aften kl. 10. Så har lige en video. Jeg skal lige gøre den offentlig. Der bliver også 4 andre. Men det var ikke lige meningen, jeg skulle købe et halvt kilo slik, så det blev så lige ude i køkkenet. Slikket er i køleskabet. Vi kan også lige tage en tår saftevand. Kamera, så det ikke står derinde. Optager også på det her. Yes, I need to go to my kitchen and get a small bowl of candy. Yes, lad os optage det. Nej, det var ikke det, der var meningen. Det var 200 kroner af mine få nødpenge. Altså de nødpenge, det er mine aller sidste penge. Det er, hvis jeg står på gaden der i strømpesokker, har ikke nogen, så har det penge til mad lige til en dags tid eller 2. Indtil jeg finder ud af, hvad jeg gør og sådan noget. Så det er skam ikke. Det er helt nødpenge, det er de sidste penge. Men jeg har selvfølgelig også, jeg har det der Mastercard med min kassekredit. Men på 5 dage er der nedbrud på en masse netbank og andre banker. Så det er fordi man har et eller andet kreditkort på nogle penge på, betyder altså ikke, at man har adgang til pengene. Og der er ikke, hvis man står i udlandet et eller andet sted. Så det er altid en god idé at have nogle penge på 1000 kroner på sig. Og specielt hvis man rejser og har et par 1000 kroner gennem rundt omkring. I sit bagage, tøj og sådan. Gemt nogle penge rundt omkring. Det kan jeg ikke gøre nu. Yes. Jeg vil optage videre der. Yes, I got more candy. And I like to watch the news in half an hour or 25 minutes. But it's Sunday evening, it's late. We have to upload this. We have to upload my Danish candy video. So I just need to make a full. Let's eat this one and this and this. Now I just need to copy the last folder, and I copy the other text from the part 1, my candy video number 1. Memory card. That's the memory card from the big memory card from my JVC camcorder. It will be ready tomorrow. Have to charge it. Let's empty the memory card. Yes, let's upload. Delete the video. I'm sorry for my voice. I'm very tired. I'm tired and I have a watch. I don't like to talk more tonight. Then memory card back. I'm almost done. Need to copy the text. And I forgot to save the text. I just put some random text. I forgot to save the last text in my part 1. Yes, copy text from part 1, open part 2 again, in the description, paste and write part 2, save, back, then I need the text for next part 3 video. So we put it down there. Good. And I need to put this video public in a few minutes. But 9 p.m. I like to watch the news in 20 minutes. Let's continue.
netbooks, tablets and embedded computers in consumer products, eventually integrating its wireless modem into Intel's silicon chips. 248. In March 2011, Intel bought most of the assets of Cairo-based Syssoft. 249. In July 2011,